All right, guys, it's Monday. We had a pretty productive day at work. I'm in a pretty good mood. The weather's pretty good. I did a bunch of weld tests when I had a little bit of free time at work since my Lincoln welder is at work. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I actually think I'm going to use the Lincoln welder, my welder, for the job. I'm going to share the pictures of the welds that I did. I did a full, radial or circle weld, whatever, full 360 weld. I did a tube on tube angle, one with a gap, one really tight, so that I could kind of have that scenario of there is areas in our tubes where there is gaps to see what I would expect. And it was a fairly big gap, like bigger than the base material, so not ideal. But it burned in really well. Looking on the inside of the tube, everything looked really good. So again, I'm practicing the welds because I want to be able to have the welder settings done. I don't want to be practicing on the Jungle Gym set here. So what I'm doing today is what I actually was supposed to do yesterday, and I'm making my templates of the panels that are, going to be like the interior trim panels. We're going to make them in aluminum, and my machinist is a dynamo guy with aluminum stuff, so we're going to end up making, our aluminum panels to kind of come up over here, and we're gonna make it nice. I did find out that the aluminum that is required, if you're going to use aluminum, is supposed to be 40 thou for the firewall. So I need 40 thou for the top, 40 thou for this. And I think tonight I got to start making a list of the stuff that we got to start buying little by little and trickling it in. I honestly think that we'll be welding by this weekend. So I got my welder all prepped up. We have all of our tubes kind of pretty much ready to go, except we still got to work on these, but I'm going to work on these later in the week where I have to cut the floor and I have to weld in a pad. So my buddy, since I'm welding into here, I'm using a slightly thinner plate here because I'm welding on the floor anyway, but there's also a brace here, and I'm welding the plate to the brace, so since I'm doubling that up, I'm going like, I think it's like 10 thou less than the plate that was supplied, which I don't think will be an issue for the struts that come down. And ultimately, I'm really happy with the runs I did with the welder, the beads and the testing, and it didn't really take long. I think our problem with the welder when we were welding on the frame is, porosity, dirty steel. I was using a much longer extension cord. I'm actually going to cut this one down. I have to go buy an end, and I'm going to cut it down just to where it's going to be long enough to get it to the car. The welder to the car, that is. So I can actually fucking cut this in half because my garage this is the whole width of my garage. I need it half the width of my garage, and it's a 12 gauge cord. I can get it in 10, and maybe down the road I'll make something a little bit more heavier dutier, but this is going to work. But again, less extension cord is better, and at work I used my big boy extension cord that I use for my Shark, my det puller machine that I have, and the welder did its job beautifully, and I think I feel confident. There is one weld that I do have to practice, and it's going to be the inside corner weld, like where the plate frames are here, the frame plates are here, like the welding inward, and there's going to be a little bit more trimming so I can get the gun in there, so I am going to trim this back probably a hair on both sides. And then, like I said, we're going to end up welding the main hoop fully, trimming this back, and then making our drop-offs. And we do have to remove a little bit more material so we can get in there clean and make our plated steel happy. And then, like I said over here, we're going to, because these are like split portions, right? So this part here is a brace for the wheelhouse. It, like, is half-ass welded to like part of the inner quarter and then the back. and then the package tray. So since I cut a lot of this out, I'm going to end up using like 1/8 flat stock or bar across here and there. And then I'm probably going to remove this last remaining chunk here, and I'm probably going to do like a cross brace, like maybe a third vertical and then like a couple across. I got to figure out what I want to do. Essentially, it supports the wheelhouse, and it's all like, it's not one solid piece. I'm making it a solid piece. It's going to be better, but it's also going to be easier to make our firewall. So there's also that, and then I also removed all that so that I can work from the inside of the car into the trunk versus, you know, working in the trunk with like, you know, no room, no really weld. So this is the easier way to do it. I mean, I don't mind cutting up my car. I think other people would be a lot pickier about it. I really don't care. So I know I can, you know, get all this crap back to, you know, how it should be, if not better and lighter. And that's it. So we'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass, and we'll put those pictures of those welds on there. And let me know what you guys think.